Hello everyone, this is Swati and I wish you all a very happy new year. I cannot believe this is 2020 already and I myself honestly cannot wait for this year with the new baby and all, and I'm so excited. I'm due in May, so looking forward to it, and I wish you all a very happy new year. I hope you guys have lots of success in your personal and professional life and are surrounded by your loved ones this year and the year forward. Anyways, I'm here today with my 2019 beauty favorites. This does not include any skincare favorites or any lifestyle favorites, so let me know if you would like to know, and I would love to do a separate video of that. With that said, let's get started with today's video. Alright, so first let's talk about primers. This year I primarily used just one primer. Nice word. And that was the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Mask. I absolutely loved it. It is really hydrating, which I really like, and I don't know what happened. Like earlier I used to have like more of oily combination skin, but it's not as much oily anymore as it's dry, and this really helped keep my makeup looking good with the dry skin, and it works really well in summer as well, which I didn't think it would, but I am glad that it did. And you can see I purchased this I think in the beginning of this year, and this has held up really well. So yeah, this is the only favorite I have in my primers. I used to love Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water as well, but I'm out of it and I haven't purchased it. I have just been using this. So yeah, this is my 2019 primer favorite. Alright, let's move on to the next step, that is foundation. So I loved so there were two foundations that I really liked. One is stick and one is liquid. So liquid foundation is probably something that you have seen me use before, but if not, let me tell you. This is the Dior Photo Finish. No, sorry, it's the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I don't know if this is similar to the MAC Face and Body Foundation, but this is really good. What I don't like is how you have to take it out and it becomes really kind of messy up here. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's not that great, but the way you have to take it out, but it is really good. It's really I mean, it gives a good coverage. It has medium coverage, and it doesn't feel like you have anything on your skin, which I actually really like. The color I use is 4WO, that's 4 Warm Olive, and it works perfectly for my skin. It's a little bit lighter for me in summers, but right now in winter it is the perfect color. It's the actual right color for my skin tone. So yeah, this is my favorite 2019 liquid foundation. I blanked there. Alright, and then I have another foundation that's a stick foundation, and honestly I have been looking for a stick foundation that I would like. A lot of people like the Hourglass Vanish Stick or the Makeup Forever, but those didn't really work for me. They were too creamy for my skin, so I never really used them. I mean, I tried them, but I had to return them because they didn't work on my skin, type. And then I stumbled upon this Milk Makeup stick foundation, and it is just really good. I started using the Milk Makeup in this stick foundation, and I feel like it's really good. It's creamy, but not too creamy that you would feel greasy or oily. So that's something that I really like, and this color is like a really good match for my skin. It's the color Caramel. It's not too dark, not too light. It's this shade right here. I'm not sure if you can actually see it, but it's a really good shade. And you know, you can use a brush or a beauty blender to blend it. I generally do not like using a brush with foundations, but this works really good with the brush as well. So yeah, these two foundations are my 2019 foundation favorites. Alright, next let's move on to concealers and correctors. So I used one. I didn't really use a lot of correctors this year, which is something that I really liked. I used to use Bobbi Brown. I have like 2 Bobbi Browns, but I only used one, and that too only if I knew that there was a spot that was not going to be concealed with my normal foundation or my concealer. And the one that I used was this Bobbi Brown color corrector in the shade Dark Peach. I just use my finger with this. I take a little bit on my finger and dab it on the spot, and then go over it with a concealer or a foundation, and it works really good. And the color Dark Peach, perfect for my skin tone. Also, if you're thinking why I'm getting so out of breath, it's the end of the day almost, and with being pregnant and all, you just get too tired too easily. Not a good thing, but can't really do anything about it. Alright, and then I have and then 2 spot correcting concealers. These are not color correctors, but they are concealers that I use only for like spot concealing and stuff. First is the NARS creamy concealer. No, it's not NARS, it's the NARS soft matte concealer, I think, and it's in the shade Caramel. Again, it's medium dark too. I'll list everything down below in the description bar. And this is probably my second pot that I'm using, and it works really well on my skin tone. Really good match for my skin as well. Really creamy, but it doesn't like crease or anything. It sets really fast, which I really like. And then kind of a similar finish, but if you are like always on the go, is this Marc Jacobs concealer. I'm forgetting the name of this concealer, but it's really good. Like it's in a tube, so you could just take it out and it works. And what I like about this concealer is that you can use it over your finished makeup as well. So if you're on the go, you can put it in your bag, and if you see something, or if you want to conceal something, and like you're going from your work to an event in the evening, this is a really good product to keep in handy, for just some touch-ups and stuff. So yeah, this is another one of my favorites. And then we come to the 2 highlighting concealers that I loved in 2019. I know there are a lot of concealers here. So first one was the YSL Touche Éclat. A lot of people love this. I know it's a little bit pricey, but it's so lightweight, and it gives such a nice highlighting effect without making it like bam in your face kind of effect. I really like it. The shade that I use is 4.5. I'm actually out of this right now, and I need to get one, but I'm not sure because I don't want to spend my money, because I already have another one that I'm using, and that is the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealer. It's a really fat tube, and it's in the shade Golden Beige. And this has also like a really thick applicator, doe foot applicator, which makes it really easy to apply under your eyes or anything. And I don't really use a lot, so I'm pretty sure this is going to last me a long time. So I might just get the YSL Touche Éclat again, because I use that for like special events or like any functions or events that we have like at home, or any parties that we're hosting. But yeah, these 2 are 2 of my favorite concealers that I use for highlighting. But yeah, those are my favorite concealers for 2019. I think they are going to be like my favorites in 2020 as well, if I keep doing this series, which I hope I do. Alright, so after concealer, what I do is, the next step in my makeup process is I set everything with a powder. So let's move on to powders. So for setting my under eye and my and like everywhere where I've highlighted, I use a loose powder, and I used to use Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. These products have really long names. So I used to use that, but it was getting a little bit, I realized that it was getting a little bit cakey under my eyes, so I started looking for different powders, and I tried different ones. I tried the Huda Beauty. It was a little bit too drying, and then I tried the Hourglass Veil mineral veil powder. They came up with last year, last year, but they didn't really work for me, and then I found the Charlotte Tilbury magic powder, and this is, I think, in the shade fair medium, in the shade 2, that's fair medium, and this is a really good powder. It's really fine, and you know, it doesn't crease under my eye. I take the tiniest amount on my beauty blender and like put it under my eyes, on my nose, which, like, you know, the areas that crease or that get oily throughout the day, and it works really good. So if you are looking for a loose powder that doesn't crease and, you know, works for like a medium skin tone, I would say like Charlotte Tilbury magic powder shade 2. You should definitely check that out. And then for setting my rest of the face, I use the Hourglass Ambient lighting powder in the shade Dim Light, and this is a really nice shade for my skin tone. I just take a big fluffy brush, swirl it around in it, and like put it all over my face. Works really good. I like that it doesn't give you a powdery finish. Instead, it's just kind of, you know, a luminous finish, like kind of what the name says. It does what it says. So one that I used a lot in 2019. Okay, and then after powder, I'll move on to bronzers. In bronzer, I was using the Marc Jacobs Fantastic Bronzer a lot in 2018, but like 2019, like in the beginning, I think I don't know, whenever, I'm not sure when Fenty Beauty launched their bronzers, but when they did, I immediately went and got it, and that is the only one that I have been using. So that's, you know, that's what your favorite means, right? You cannot stop using it. Every time you do your makeup, every time you do something, you use it. So that's what I'm including in today's video. So it's the Fenty Beauty bronzer in the shade Island Ting. It's a really pretty sunny bronze color for my skin tone. This is what I have on my face right now. Most of these products are actually on my face today, so you can actually see how it all looks together when your makeup is done, and I feel like it looks really natural for my skin tone. So yeah, I'll list the name of this particular shade in the description bar, but it's the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Instant Warmth Bronzer in the shade Island Ting. Alright, let's move on. Next, we come to blush, giving some color back to your face. Next comes the blush, and I'm sorry to say, but my favorite is something that's, I don't think, available anymore. It's this Becca blush palette, and I think Becca came up with this in 2018. I have been using this like almost every month since they came out, and I haven't put a dent in any of these. Two of my favorite colors are these two. I think one is Songbird and the other is Wisteria. I mostly use this one, the middle one, that's Songbird. I feel like that's a really good, like a neutral shade for me. And if I want to give it a little bit of pink, a little bit of flush, I use the pink shade. But yeah, this is my favorite color, and I'm sorry, I don't think this is available anymore. I would, though, I do think that they have individual blush shades available, like these blush shades available, so I would link them down in the description bar if I can find it. But if not, I have another one that I really like, and I'm not sure if it's available. It is the Hourglass palette, and the shade color is number 5. That is blush, that is Mood Flush. Okay, so I use this middle shade, Mood Flush, sometimes if I'm mostly when I'm traveling, because this palette has like so many different shades that work for you, and this is also like my favorite palette of 2019. I've used this so much, honestly. It is really, really good. This also has my favorite highlighter. Okay, I mean, we are talking about, you know, bronzer, blush, and highlighter. So let's move on to the highlighter. And this has my favorite highlighter from 2019. That's right here. It's in the shade Champagne Strobe Light. Oh, this is Champagne Strobe Light. So yeah, that's the highlighter. It's a really pretty highlighter. That's what I have on today. I use a really light hand when I'm using highlighter, so it's not too much, but I really like it. As you can see right here, it gives a nice sheen. Honestly, if you can still get your hands on this palette, you should probably, because I mean, a lot of these palettes, they don't really work for, you know, a medium skin tone or olive skin tone, but I think this one really does work. I have used the setting powders, these two, the bronzer here, the blushes here, really good, and the highlighter. So that's why I would say that this, if you can find it still, maybe, you know, you can go and try it out and see if it works for you, because it does really work for me. Alright, so we're moving ahead. We're almost there. Alright, so next on my list are brows. Now, I don't really do a lot on my brows. For maintenance, I just do them at home. But you know, when I'm doing my makeup, I like to fill them in a little bit, because I have some spots that are a little bit bald. I don't have a lot of hair at some of the spots, so I like to fill them in. And you know, if I'm in a hurry, I use the Anastasia brow definer. Why? This has a spoolie on one end, which I should probably, I don't know if you can clean it, but I should clean it probably. But why I like it is that this has kind of a fat tip, so it works really fast. I mean, I know that a lot of people like the Brow Wiz, but that's really thin, and for me it takes a lot of time. So, you know, I just feel like the brow definer works a lot better for me if I'm in a hurry, and I use the shade medium brown. But if I have a lot of time, and if I'm feeling a little bit fancy, or if I want to take a little bit more time while doing it, I use the Anastasia Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo in the shade Chocolate. These are the two shades they have, and I kind of like mix the two together with the brush that they have, and you know, use it to just do my brows. But this is something that I bought like in 2018, and I'm still using it, so I don't use it a lot. My brow definer gets most use for my brows. I think this is like the second or third that I am using. So yeah, that would definitely be my favorite for I don't know how long, because I haven't found anything else that works as good as this. I did used to like NYX brow pencil. That is a lot like, I'm not sure if they still have it or if they discontinued that, because I used to get that at Target and I couldn't find it anymore. So if I can, I'll link that down below as well. But a NYX brow pencil, or their brow, don't remember the name of that product, I'm sorry, but I'll link them down below if I can find it. And for setting my brows, I use the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Stellar. This is a really good, this has two, like the brush has two ends. One is kind of longer bristle, and the other are like shorter bristles. So I use the longer bristles for like in the beginning of the brows, and then shorter ones for like the end of the brow to like really set it nicely. And it does work. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. It just sets your brows and doesn't like, it doesn't look like it's set. It looks natural, you know. Alright, and then after brows, let's move on to the eyes. First, let's talk about eyeshadow primer. The thing is that I don't really use one. I just use this concealer. Like if I'm using this concealer, I just use it on my eyeshadow and like on my eyes as eyeshadow primer, like whatever concealer I'm using that day. It's just because it takes a little bit extra time, and I don't feel like there is much difference when I use the two, like an eyeshadow primer or a concealer. So yeah, I don't really use an eyeshadow primer, so I don't have anything in that category. But if we move on, for eyeshadow, for actual eyeshadows, I have two, and both of them are from NATASHA DENONA. Actually kind of the same palettes. I mean, not same, but names are like, okay, let's go. So the one palette that I actually really liked, it came out in the middle of the year, I think, and that was NATASHA DENONA Sunrise palette. It's this giant big palette right here. And I love that it has, I mean, I am through a warm eyeshadow palette person, so I mean, these colors just really speak to me. And then if I'm traveling or if I'm in a really hurry, or for my everyday eyeshadow look, everyday as in, you know, whenever I do makeup, if it's not an event or anything, if I just have to go out, the one that I have been using I think for 2 years now, and I still have a lot left in it, so it's going strong. It's this NATASHA DENONA mini sunset palette. I use this whenever I am traveling, or you know, I'm in a hurry. It has all the shades you would need for your everyday eyeshadow look. Again, it has all the warm colors, so it works for me. But I mean, if you want to go for a different shade, they have a lot more mini palettes that you can definitely check out. But yeah, these are the shades they have, and these are really, really beautiful. They're still available at Sephora, so I'll link them down below as well. Alright, we are almost to the end. And okay, so for my corner highlight, I don't really use a powder eyeshadow. Instead, I go for an eyeshadow stick, and that is the Laura Mercier Caviar stick in the shade Rose Gold. I have been using it for more than a year now, and like, the thing has almost come off from the tube now, so I mean, as you can see, it's off, but I'm still using it because it works really well. I have it on today. Well, I mean, I have it on whenever I have makeup on, so I mean, it's really, really good. And because I use it only for that, it's going to last a long time. I might need to replace it before it you know, before I run out of it, because it'll probably go bad. But it's a really good like mini stick for your eyeshadow. It fits in really well, and it stays all day. It works really good. Alright, next are eyelashes. So I'm like, my eyelashes, they don't really, like, I had really small eyelashes, so what I used Revitalash on my eyes, and then I also tried Grande Lash Serum. I'm not using any of them right now, but they really did help me in growing my lashes a little bit. And then I found out, I discovered the Pat McGrath Labs Fetishized Mascara this year, and it is really, really good. I mean, this is a really thick formula, so if you don't like thick formulas, I don't know if you would like it, but otherwise it's really good if you don't mind it. It has a really thick brush, really goopy, kind of like thick, you know, it works really good for your lashes. It volumizes, gives it length, and doesn't really help in separating them, so sometimes I go in with a spoolie or something to actually separate it, but other than that, it works really well to give it some definition and volume to my lashes. So yeah, that's something that's what I used on my upper lashes. But for my lower lashes, I have been using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara for like 2 years, or I don't know, 2 or 3 years, I don't know. But yeah, and this is not the same tube that I've been using. It's a new one. Not a new one, I mean, I think I got this one this year, but this is the one that I have been using. I have tried a few different ones, like the one from MAC or IT Cosmetics, but they don't really work. I don't know, they either don't coat my lashes or they just smudge or something. I don't know. This is the one that I like. This works on me. I use it every time I do my makeup, so those are the 2 mascaras. I'm not a high maintenance person, just 2 and I'm good. Just 2. Alright, so after mascara, let's move on to the last category. Well, not last, almost. I mean, second last. That would be the lips. So a lot of this is from a lot of stuff for my favorite lip products in 2019 is from Charlotte Tilbury. So favorite lip liner, I have 2. One is from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Hot Gossip, and the other is from Buxom Undercover. Oh, okay. So this is the Buxom lip pencil in the shade Undercover, and then this is the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in the shade, it's a lip cheat, in the shade Hot Gossip. Kind of similar shade but still different. Like the Buxom one is a lot more darker than the Charlotte Tilbury one, but these two are kind of in a similar shade, and they are kind of like my lips were better shades, so those are two of my favorites. And then for lipsticks, I have different categories. So you know, for lipsticks, I have two from Charlotte Tilbury. One is English Beauty. I used this a lot this year. As you can see, I am using it up. And the other one is the shade Bond Girl. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit darker, and I like it when I have like something really, like a really nude lip on and I want to give it some color. I just dab this on and it works really good on that too. Yeah, and for liquid lipsticks, I have the only liquid lipstick honestly that I used this year is Fenty Beauty liquid lipstick in the shade I mean the Fenty Beauty Stunner Lip Paint in Unbutton. That is this shade, and I honestly did not use anything else other than this. I mean, this one ruled. And then I don't know what category to put this in, but it's a really really pretty color. This is Givenchy liquid lipstick. I think it is liquid lipstick, and it's not like matte liquid lipstick. It's kind of moisturizing, but still it doesn't really move. Like it sets over time, and this has a really interesting applicator as well as you can see here. And then one lip gloss that I have been loving this year is this Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. I'm sure a lot of people have been loving this one this year, and I mean, I don't really think I need to say anything. It is such a beautiful color. I mean, if you are like, even if you don't have any lip color on, you can just put this on and you're good to go. Last category would be a setting spray or something to set my makeup, and that's like just one small little thing, not really that small, but this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. I get the All Nighter because like I said, I don't really know, like I had really oily skin and sometimes it gets really dry, so I just feel like this works the best. Sometimes I use it after my foundation and then again after my makeup if I'm going out for like a long time, but if it's just for, you know, for a few hours, I just use it at the end of my makeup. And I really do think that it works because you know, like it's makeup, it's going to come off by the, like, you know, with time, but I think it increases the longevity of how long it's going to stay. So yeah, this has to be my favorite. I think this has to be my favorite from 2018 and 2019. Definitely going to be in 2020, but we'll see at the end of this year. But yeah, that is all I had for my 2019 beauty favorites. Let me know, like I said before, if you would also like to see my skincare favorites or my lifestyle favorites, and I would love to do a video on them as well. And I hope you guys have a great year, thrive, and be surrounded with the people you love and who love you. And with that said, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.